15 Random Facts About the NHL, episode number 4. Every hockey fan knows what a Zamboni is, and the Zamboni was actually invented back in 1949 by a man named Frank Zamboni, hence the name Zamboni, which turned a 5-man 90-minute job into a 1-man 15-minute job. This stat really blew my mind and definitely put in perspective how long Gordie Howe actually played in the NHL. Gordie Howe entered the NHL around the same time that Bobby Orr was born, but Gordie Howe would not retire until after Bobby Orr was already a member of the Hockey Hall of Fame. That is mind-blowing. Wayne Gretzky, Gordie Howe, Sidney Crosby, and Connor McDavid all have one thing in common, and that thing is that none of them won the Calder Trophy for Rookie of the Year. That is kind of crazy to think about considering how good all of these guys are, and when it's all said and done, they will all four be looked at as some of the greatest players of all time. Back in the 1950s, the Montreal Canadiens owner bought an entire amateur hockey league to force John Beliveau to play for them, as at the time he had little interest in playing professionally. Obviously, Beliveau went on to have a legendary career, and may he rest in peace. If you took away all of Wayne Gretzky's goals and kept the assists, he's still the NHL's leading scorer of all time. Jaromir Jagr comes close, but that spot would still belong to the Great One. That's pretty insane. The St. Louis Blues had a total record of 0-12 in the Stanley Cup Final. That is before the 2019 St. Louis Blues won the franchise their first ever Stanley Cup. Throughout his NHL career, Ken Daneyko was a hard-hitting defensive defenseman that got a ton of penalty minutes. He didn't score very often. At one point, he actually went 255 games without scoring a goal. That means he went more than 3 seasons without a goal. That's a pretty insane drought. Back in the late 1960s, the Pittsburgh Penguins took mascot to a pretty extreme level, having a real-life penguin serve as the team's mascot. They called him Slapshot Pete or Penguin Pete. The decision to install higher plexiglass panels in all hockey arenas was taken after a player's spectator brawl in 1979. After a 4-3 victory over the New York Rangers, Mike Milbury of the Boston Bruins jumped over the glass, tore off somebody's shoe, and proceeded to beat him with it. This resulted in a 6-game suspension. The Slovakian women's ice hockey team qualified for the 2010 Olympics by beating Bulgaria 82-0. They later lost to Team Canada in the Olympics 18-0. Tiger Williams holds the NHL record for most career penalty minutes. He has 3,966, which adds up to about 2.7 days. That is an insane amount of penalty minutes. After the Toronto Maple Leafs won the Stanley Cup in 1962, they accidentally threw the cup into a celebratory bonfire and had to pay a hefty amount to repair the ensuing damages. That poor Stanley Cup has been through a lot. The Red Wings have a pretty obscure tradition where fans like to sneak octopus into the arena and proceed to toss them onto the ice. However, there are rules attempting to stop this from happening, but one time a fan actually saran wrapped a slippery octopus to his stomach just to get it into the arena. Before I get into the final fact, a bit of an announcement here. I got a lot of time on my hands, so I decided to start up an NBA channel. The link to it will be down in the description below, and I will probably have a video up on that channel by the time this video is up, so if you're a fan of the NBA, make sure to go check it out. And now back to the video. He was in the thumbnail, so you know he had to be in here somewhere. Iginla is the only NHL player ever to lead the league in goals and points and not win the Hart Trophy. That is going to do it for episode 4 of 15 random facts about the NHL. Not quite sure when the next one is going to be. It's getting harder and harder to find interesting facts that I think you guys will enjoy. So if you do have any that you find that you want me to feature in a up and coming episode of this, make sure to DM it to me on Twitter. My link to Twitter is also down below in the description. And if you guys did enjoy today's video, please feel free to go down there and drop a like on it. That's the best way to show your support. And if you're new and you want to see more NHL content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys all in the next video.